G'day folks, today we're here to run through a project of tree removal and highlighting some of the equipment that's available in the majority of every Kennards hire branch. Some of the equipment we've got is we've got two size chainsaws. We've got a smaller one to use on some of the lighter material and a bigger one once we go through some of the heavier branches and heavier trunk. We've got the log splitter over the back, the stump grinder, the chipper, and then the cherry picker. So this particular scenario we've got the two trees. We've got a larger dead tree and a smaller green tree or live tree. Obviously, your particular scenario, you might not need everything we've got here today, but as we go through the process, we're going to show you how the benefits of using those products in those particular steps. So just before you start the actual job, you've just got to take a couple of minutes and reassess the situation, make sure that any pets or family members can't stumble into your work area. Okay, so what we've got here is a standard safety kit that's available from every Kennards hire branch. Pretty much when you hire any piece of equipment, the staff in the branch will offer you a safety kit. You don't need to use it if you've got the equipment yourself, but they're available anyway. Okay, so what we've got here is the 12-inch or 300mm chainsaw. As a bit of a benefit from Kennards Hire, every chainsaw that you hire actually comes with a brand new chain on the bar. This is the first tree we're going to take down. This tree's small enough to actually cut down in pretty much one go at the base. We've got the area for it to fall in a specific direction. So what we want to do is we actually want to take a wedge out of the front of the tree to help guide the tree to fall in that specific direction. After we take the wedge out of the front, there'll be a single cut go in the back, and that's effectively going to create a hinge for the tree to fall in the direction we want to. Rightio folks, as you can see, we've dropped our two main trunks. They've gone in two different directions, which happen to be the safest and most practical way in the scenario we had here. So what we're about to do next is run through, we're going to chop off all these extra branches right at the size that's going to be relevant to run through the chipper. So they're going to be able to go straight into the chipper as they are, and then some of the thicker stuff we're going to chop up for firewood or something like that later on. So we've dropped the tree down, we've cut up the branches in a size relevant to be able to put through this chipper. So we're taking full advantage of all the greenery and leaf and smaller branches from these trees, and we're actually going to chip it up, mulch it up, and it's going to be perfect for the garden. There's a nice, easy to understand decal on the side here that shows a maximum diameter of 100mm for this particular unit. If you do need any to chip up some bigger material, Kennards Hire actually does have some machines that will be able to handle these larger pieces of timber, but for this project we've got here today, we're going to use the smaller unit, and like I said, we're going to have to use some smaller diameter material. As you can see, we've dropped the main bulk of the tree, so we're about to prepare the stump for the stump grinder. So essentially what we need to do is cut the stump off at the base, just a little bit above ground level, so we don't put the chain from the chainsaw into the dirt at all. We just want to make a clean cut through the bottom of the timber. So we're about to fire up the 18-inch chainsaw and get it underway. So there we go, we're about to fire up the stump grinder and show you how to finish off this job. Okay, so we've cut off the stump to as low as pretty much as possible. We're about to get the stump grinder in play, but first we're just going to use a regular shovel. We're just going to clean away from the base of the stump a bit of the dirt, and so the stump grinder has a clean grind or a clean cut through the trunk of the tree. Here we go, it's a couple of rocks just at the base of the tree. So a perfect example of why you need to clean around the base of the stump. It's not going to jam up the grinder at all or damage any of the cutting blades. So obviously clean up around the base of the tree so we can get as clean a process as we can. Rightio, so that's prepared enough to get us started. This stump grinder can actually dig down to about 150, 200 mil below ground level. although this site we can basically take 1 or 2 sweeps. We'll get down a bit lower, we might clear the base a little bit further, and we can have another go at that. So we're pretty much ready to go. So this is the stump grinder we're about to use. Kennards Hire have a couple of different models. This is the middle of the range, but there's actually a smaller one as well as a larger one. But talk to the guys in the branch and they'll be able to direct you to exactly what size you need. This particular model, we've got an adjustable handle, so you can set it to the operator's height. We've got ignition switch on, and we need to release the brake, move the stump grinder into position. We will engage the brake again, which locks the right hand wheel, which allows us to, once the machine is operating, we'll be able to sweep the stump from side to side, dropping down about 10 to 20 mil each sweep. And then once we get down to the appropriate level, we'll be able to release the brake, reposition into a little bit further forward, reposition further into the stump, engage the brake again, and start sweeping down again. Okay, so we've done our first few sweeps, so it's a good idea right now. We're actually just we've stopped the machine, just sort of reassess the situation. We're going to clean out a bit more of this, the chip and a bit more dirt, so we can have another go. Okay, so as you can see, we've pretty much ground the stump down to below ground level. So essentially what's left is we're just going to rake over some of these fine wood chips, and so it's all nice and neat, and that's it. We're pretty much finished the job. Rightio, so that's the first tree. On to the big tree now. For more information, check out the website or give us a call. Just remember, when using the equipment, Kennards Hire recommends the use of safety products at all times. Be sure to use the personal protective clothing and equipment for each product hired, which are available at every branch.
Kennards make your job